everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I have an easy, affordable DIY that any beginner sewer can do. So do not feel discouraged by this video. This is to help encourage you to decorate your home, spruce things up for the spring, and maybe for the Easter season. You can do whatever you will with as far as material and things like that, and this simple DIY pillow cover with a zipper is going to be unbelievably easy if you just follow along and have a little bit of patience. So I'm going to talk about a few of the supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need an all-purpose thread. So this thread is going to be in the coordinating color that's going to match your material. So I have like a light brown and white here because I'm going to use this brown material here, and it's very soft. And it's like a Sherpa material and white. Now you can use like a linen or a cotton, whatever you feel comfortable with, but I want to still kind of keep it warm and cozy because it's spring here where we have our cooler nights, but I want it nice and light and bright because it is spring. So I'm picking some lighter colors. And then you're going to need a pillow insert, and I'm going to link where I purchased my pillow insert. This is just a down insert, and that's going to be linked below in the description box. And I'm going to make a couple different pillows, but I'm going to show you how to make a basic one so you can choose to make one or to be as creative as you want. Some stick pins or straight pins. Whoops. You're going to need some of these just to kind of keep your material in place, you know, especially if you're a beginner. These are going to be extremely helpful. And then you're going to need a ruler, a tape measure of sorts, and you're going to need a pen, a marking pen or a fabric pen, something that's not going to stain your material, that if it's washed it will come off, or if it will clean off nicely with a little bit of water. You're going to need a good pair of sewing scissors, and I would reserve these sewing scissors just for sewing. No one in my family is allowed to use these unless it's for material. It's not to be used for paper, so make sure you get a good pair of that. And like I said, I'm going to link all the supplies, the tools, beginner tools that you're going to need to get started. And then for this project, you're also going to need a zipper. This is a 14-inch zipper, so you want to measure out your pillow insert because you want to be able to get your pillow in either this end or this end. So it just depends on which end you want to insert the pillow, because this is a cover. We're going to take it out each season or whenever we're feeling bored with it. And I like doing that because I only have to buy a few pillow inserts for my home, and then I just change out the covers for the season or the decor and things like that. So that's like another money saving tip instead of buying tons of decorative pillows. And the problem is that you buy them, there's nowhere to store them, and you're buying them and investing a lot of money in there, and really you only need the pillow cover because that's the only thing you really want to change. And then I usually just clean them and store them away with my seasonal items if it's a seasonal cover. Okay, so before you start your project, you want a surface that is big and flat and hard. So I am using my kitchen table here. As you can see, it's been around the block a few times. We've used it for so many things. It's been in my family since my kids were babes. And eventually I'm going to redo it and figure out a different solution. But you are going to go ahead and take your fabric and place it the right side inward. So you want the side that you don't want to show to the public on the outside. So we're going to go ahead and match that up so that is done nicely right here. Okay, now that the material is properly aligned and placed, you're going to place your insert right on top of your material, and you're going to measure around. I like to give about a ½ inch to an inch seam allowance, just because if there's any mistakes or anything like that, I can fix it or adjust it, because I do not want my pillow cover to be too small and then it doesn't fit the pillow. So I'm kind of just measuring around here, and I'm taking a fabric pen, pencil, or something that's going to be washable, and I'm going to draw those 1 inch or a ½ inch lines. Now the seam allowance is going to be about a ½ inch for this project. That's what I'm going to be listed. It's going to be listed as the blog as. So I'm just letting you know that, so you know what you're doing there. And we're going to go ahead and measure that or mark it off, and then we're going to draw our lines with our ruler. That's why the ruler is important, or a tape measure. You can use a tape measure as well too. As you can see, everything is marked off, so I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors and cut along the line that I drew with the ruler and with the fabric pencil or pen, and being careful that the lines are nice and straight. I do want to tell you that. Now, if you stay to the end of this video, you're going to see a little different spin on the zipper pillowcase that I think any beginner can do. It's actually something that I was inspired by when I was looking through the spring Pottery Barn catalog. So I said, oh, I could totally do that, but I didn't want to pay the price for the covers. So I said, you know what? I can make this. I can do this. And so that's kind of the pillow cover look I'm going for, is something that I seen on the Pottery Barn website. I didn't tell you that yet, but wait till the end and you guys are going to see how easy it is. So I'll show you all the steps, but I'm going to show you all the basic steps of the zipper pillow, and then you're going to be super surprised when you go through the process. And I'm going to have all of the supplies listed in the description box below. So make sure you check that out if I skipped anything or whatnot, because that's going to be helpful. And as you can see, it's cut out and it's ready to go. Okay, so my next step, once my rectangle or square is cut out, I'm going to take stick pins and I'm going to equally place my pins along where I'm going to sew at. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, it's probably gonna be about a 1/2 inch all the way between needle or stick pin from stick pin. This is just gonna keep the material from sliding when I use the machine. And I'm gonna show you how I use my machine, how I thread it and do the bobbin and all that. Most machines are pretty similar. I have a Singer. There are some machines that are, you know, very, very similar, just a little bit different. So you're going to have to check with your user's manual. But, you know, if you get like a basic sewing machine, don't feel discouraged. I think with just time and patience, that owner's manual and watching videos like this and starting with some beginner projects, you're going to open the door to so many opportunities. So once I have this all pinned all the way around, I'm going to leave the opening. I'm not going to pin that area where I'm going to put the zipper at. My zipper is probably going to go right here. I'm not going to pin where that's going to be at. I'm going to equally, you know, space this so it's even. And then I'll just put the pins here to know that this is where I'm going to stop at, because it makes no sense to pin because you're not going to sew there, right? And I'm going to show you how to insert that zipper in a few. So that's what we're doing here, is we're just going to pin all the way along here and here up into the zipper opening. Okay guys, so I'm going to teach you how to do a basic threading of your bobbin and your thread on your sewing machine. So I do have a Singer. This is just a basic, simple machine, not expensive at all. So I think most of machines are pretty similar in how to thread, but always check with your user's manual because it'll be maybe slightly different on where you put everything. So this is just to kind of give you an idea and maybe help you get started. The material I'm working with has a lot of fuzz. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to take this out so you can see, is you're just going to use an all-purpose thread or a thread that matches your material. They're sold in different varieties, and you want one that corresponds or coordinates with your material. So you're going to go ahead and put it onto your spool, and then literally at the top it says 1. Pretty basic. That's step 1, where you thread it through and you kind of bring that there. And then step 2 is right here. Bring it down and up to this little lever, which you can see the numbers right there on the machine. It guides you. It tells you step 1, 2, 3, 4, and then from here the last step is to thread it through the needle. This part is the part that I find to be difficult, because you have to get this little piece of thread in the needle hole, and then I usually like to wet my fingers and then pinch them just to kind of, if there's any frays, it's just easier. And see, this one's not very good. Even with me moistening that tip of the thread, I have to cut it like a nice clean cut. So that's what I'm going to do there, and then wet it. It just makes it a little bit easier. Now I did change out my pedal. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. I'll put the proper terminology in the blog post, but I did change that out because the material I'm working with is quite difficult, and it was pulling on the material, so I think this is going to be much more helpful. Plus I need this for my zipper anyway. And then down here below, as you can see, this is where your bobbin is going to go through, and you thread your bobbin with this step here. So your thread would go through here, this would be the step 1, and come around here, and you push this here to thread it, so the machine can move up and down without messing with the needle. And then when you're done, you just put it back. And then you just put it in your bobbin. There's like a little clicky part that you have to click it in. Clicky part, I don't even know if that's the proper terminology. Like I said, I'm a very beginner. And then you're going to thread through the bobbin, make sure everything's clicked in place. This is one of the problems that if I find that my machine's not running efficiently is because I just skipped a step or a step wasn't done properly. And then I pull the threads in the back and then shut this door. And then you can see this has like it's nice for like any small areas, like a pant cuff or an arm cuff. And then you would put this in here. And it's nice because this machine, I store all my bobbins right in here. And then you set everything up so you can see A, B, C, all the way to K is the different types of thread and stitches that you want. A would be your basic, and B and C would be your basic zigzag stitches. A lot of people do C for that decorative look down there, and then B would be just there. And then your tension, just check the material and the tension, and check with your own owner's manual how you want to set all that up. So let's go ahead and start stitching up the sides of our pillow cover. I have, like I said, we pinned our material together on all of our 3 sides, and then we pin where we want the zipper to be lined up as. And then as you can see in here, there's this metal plate, and it kind of gives you a guide, you know, when you're guiding your material through. So if you need to do a 1/2 inch or 1 inch or anything like that, you can go and use this guide if you wanted a full inch or 1/2 inch, and that's what I do there. Sometimes I do take this off just because I can maneuver a little bit better without hurting myself and the material. So that's just a personal preference. And we're going to go ahead and start stitching all of our sides. Okay, as you can see, I'm moving slowly and easy. You don't want to rush the process. You kind of just want to work and glide the material through the area where the presser is a needle, and just kind of guide it along that little guide. And then once you're done, you're going to go ahead and remove all of your pins. Okay, now that all of my sides are sewn up, and like I said, I've only did 3 sides because I'm going to insert that zipper. I did sew right where I measured the zipper about 1 inch on either side of that 4th side, just to make my life a tiny bit easier. You don't necessarily have to do that right away, and I'll show you what I mean when I get to that part. And like I said, if you stay to the end of this video, I got a little treat for you that I wanted to show you that I experimented with on this project, and then I wanted to know what you thought of it. So now this is the part where we're going to go ahead and pin the zipper, and I'm getting all the little loose strings off. So let me grab that. So here is our zipper. Your zippers should be big enough, wide enough to be able to put your insert in. So you want to make sure you do that. I like to unzip my zipper, and then I like to turn this right side out and then start pinning it. So we're going to do that now. Okay, so this material I'm working with is very fuzzy. So be mindful with the material you're working with. A basic cotton or linen. Linen is wonderful for a beginner, but I'm a little beyond basic beginner pillow making. So, but this is still pretty basic. So what you're going to do is you're kind of making a hem here in the end of your material, and then you're pinning your zipper to it. So as you can see, I'm trying to make sure the material is not close to the teeth of the zipper, because what happens is the material is going to get caught up when you zip and unzip the zipper, and we're trying to eliminate that. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm pinning it so I know that I have that hem and that zipper nice and set up. And irons make really great guides too, because it kind of, if you iron everything, it'll fit everything in place and smooth everything out, so you know where those lines are, because they're kind of, well, they're permanent. And then see how there's this opening at the end? I'm going to go ahead and make a little hem there and pin that, because I want to sew that. I don't want an opening in my pillow cover. And then once I have that all done, I'm going to flip it the wrong side facing outward and then sew it up. And you want to make sure, see, these little metal parts are lined up, because you don't want your zipper to be crooked, because that could pose a problem when you're zipping up your zipper and unzipping it. So that's what I'm doing here. And I think everything is set, and then I'm going to slowly turn this inside out. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, and now that everything is pinned, and start sewing it. So nice and easy, making sure the hem doesn't come out and the teeth is not too close to the material. I'm just going to go ahead and stitch slowly, guiding it along that guider, carefully as we can do it. Okay, I do want to say you want to make sure you're not going to sew the teeth. So make sure you don't get too close to the teeth, and make sure you don't get too close to the metal part, because that could cause some problems. And I'm going to go ahead and back this up a little to secure it, and then remove it from the machine. Okay, now that everything's all sewn up, the zipper is inserted, we're going to go ahead and flip this where it is the right side out. And you want to get your hand in there, or use some type of device to get your corners kind of pointy. That's what we're doing here. And then we're going to insert the pillow form inside there and see how that works. All right, so I'm inserting the pillow form, making sure it fills all the corners up. And I'm going to give it a good fluff and puff and then zip it up. Let's see how this goes. There we go. Perfect. Okay, as you can see, there's my surprise. Look what I did on the front of these zipper pillows. I made these cute, adorable bunnies. And they were so easy. Guys, if you want me to show you how to put appliques on your pillow covers, let me know in the comments below, and I will do a tutorial for you as well. But aren't these precious? And like I said, these zipper pillows easily will unzip, and you can remove the pillow insert. You can wash these as directed for the material and store them away. They are just an inexpensive way to decorate your home on a budget, and they will save tons of room in your home as well too. I just think they're precious. Here's another view. I stacked it with some of my other pillows. I did not make either of these covers, but they all are removable, which is what I love. If you enjoy these beginning sewing tutorials, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Remember, if you don't want to miss any videos from me that are natural and from scratch and just creating a healthier, simpler lifestyle on a budget, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos from me. And thank you so much for staying till the end and watching the video. And like I said, let me know if you want me to show you how to do these cute little appliques. We don't have to do bunnies. We can do pretty much anything you desire. Let me know that too as well in the comments. I'll talk to you guys soon.